Hi, and welcome back to the lab. So, you are a new picker, you are active on forums, Discord, Reddit, and you are looking for picks and tools you need so you can move on or progress with your hobby. And you are searching for answers, and you find out that there's different opinions from different people, and you are not sure which ones are okay and which ones you can trust. I hope I can help you with this. I will not tell you which lockpick set or which tools or locks you need to buy, but I hope that I can steer you in proper direction so you can decide and have better knowledge what sets, locks or other tools you need to buy. So let's start. Probably the first suggestion is to buy some kind of starter kit like this one, which consists of a lot of different styles of rakes and some type of hooks, probably some snakes, and different variety of turning tools. Honestly, not quite sure that this will benefit you as a new picker. Yeah, for sure you will like these rakes and some bypass tools if you have one, but fast forward you will find out that hooks are the most used tools, or half diamonds, or whichever style you will prefer or you already prefer. But this set contains these two hooks, the medium and shallow one, and if I can find it, only two turning tools, which I used mostly from the whole set. This is, by the way, Mad Bob's set, which is no longer in production, so I'm not sure if it's collectible, but yeah, you cannot buy it unfortunately, but there are a lot of vendors where you can buy similar sets. As I said, from everything here I mostly used those two, and you can see how bent they got. This is not the lack of the material or manufacturing error, it's basically me when I was learning how to pick, and I was picking on the wording and I managed to bend this. I'm afraid to straighten it up because I worry if it break I will lose hook, but it's still usable as is, just a bit bent. But the point is that I wanted to say usually you need only a couple of tools, and if you are lucky enough to be in America or somewhere where they ship covert instruments, have freaking new guy or something like that, where you can buy this case, couple of picks, couple of rakes, couple of turning tools. I believe they even put in that shitty plastic lock, and yeah, it's quite nice and it's quite inexpensive. But the better thing that I will suggest that you don't buy sets like this, where if you break this particular hook or turning tool, you cannot replace them individually, rather than you have to buy the whole new set, which can be quite expensive. This is why I switched from this type of model to something like this. I live in Europe, so multi-pick is my preferred choice. They have individual picks which you can buy separately, turning tools as well. And here you can see a couple of hooks I use daily and a couple of turning tools as well. The next thing you can do, or you can see, which will differentiate lockpicks, is the length. When you are holding your pick, they may be shorter than you thought because you were looking at the pictures, or you were watching somebody on YouTube who has smaller hands. I have bigger hands, size of the glove at least is 11, so hope it helps. And these multi-pick ones are a bit small, but I got used to that, and they are quite comfortable. I would like for them to be a bit longer, but yeah, it is what it is. These ones are just piece of steel which is cut, and it's more uncomfortable to use as is than this one, because this is at least sandwiched between two plates of some kind of metal, and it feels more comfortable. But you can improve this by putting heat shrink on it. There's even a heat shrink with this hot glue inside, and you can put multiple layers. I believe Sandman has some kind of video, so check it out. For me personally, just one layer is quite enough, so it doesn't slip and it's quite more comfortable. But the downside is that you lose this nice etching, which in my case I don't worry about. I've put a heat shrink also on this turning tool just to make it more comfortable on my finger when I'm trying to open the lock. I wouldn't advise buying cheap picks from AliExpress because mostly they have a rough finish and they require quite a lot of sanding and polishing, and if you're a new picker you wouldn't probably know how to do it properly, or you can damage the profile while doing so, so maybe it's not the best option for you. But if you are do-it-yourself guy and you know how to use tools, for sure go for it. But maybe some of them will need some modifications as well, but usually is what you get, or actually what you pay for it's what you get. You have to know that eventually, even if you have a lot of different picks inside, you will find yourself the ones that you like I did, and you'll use them most of all. And they will get damaged. That's why I suggest that I strongly suggest that you buy them from somebody. It doesn't have to be multi-pick. There are a lot of manufacturers who will sell you just individual picks. Sometimes it may be quite tempting to buy kits like this one from Multipick, and I can agree this is quite high quality one, and I liked using them all. But as I said, eventually I got just two picks which I use mostly. But one suggestion is that when you are picking locks and you feel comfortable picking a lock with this pick, then switch to, I don't know, different profile, shorter hook. Especially if you have high-low bidding, you will teach yourself navigating around them with shorter hook. Also, sometimes a deep hook like this one can make it challenging to insert into the lock and navigate, so it's also good practicing tool. But yes, you have to see if this is something that is in your budget, first of all, because this is not cheap, and if it's something that you will use. You don't need to waste your money on something that will just sit in your shelf somewhere because you think you wanted to start it with somewhere. If you are a picker, or you want to be a picker, but you are not sure if this is something for you, and you would just like to try it out, you can always start with this combination lock or any other combination lock. These are basically everything you need. So no tools required to open them, but some may be of higher quality, which have false gates inside, higher tolerances, and may be quite challenging to open, so don't disregard them. And basically you buy just a lock and your hands are your tools. There are, however, some shims or shimming tools like this one, which you can, or decoders, notch decoders, or however they are called, which you can slide between two of wheels, and you can feel for the gates, and on some you can even catch on them and pull it or push on it so the lock can be opened. But yes, you can do it even without this tool. So this is the minimum investment that you need if you want to start with lockpicking. And don't be fooled, some of them can be quite hard to open. LockNoob has quite nice video explaining how to open basically any of those, and I'll link them the video down below. Also, you may be tempted to buy some kind of cheap Chinesium locks. Well, maybe it's not the best option, because sometimes, or probably most of the times, the colors, the paint which they are painted on can get into the core, and the pins will be coated, and it will be quite hard for them to be moved. Also, because of the cheap tolerances on the while producing the lock, some may be even harder to open than they should be, even without any security pins. So as a new picker, I would suggest that you do not waste your money on these locks. I would rather suggest that you check out the Discord, Bazaar forums, and your local Craigslist or whatever you have, where you can try to find people who are selling locks. Sometimes it will be just half of a lock like this, but still it's enough for you to learn and to expand your collection. I started with cutaways from Multipick. These are a bit pricey, but the nice thing is that you see where you are on this when you are inside. And what I was liking is this exactly, and I was picking on the wording. I know that the camera's not showing it, but I was on the wording and I managed to push and push and push, and eventually bend it while I was using. So you may damage your tool or even a lock. The good thing with these locks is that you can pin them progressively, 2, 3, 4, up to 6 ones. And this one from Multipick is quite nice because it's double-sided, because what it means, it's a pin tumbler on one side and a dimple side on the other, so you can use it to train yourself to pick dimple locks as well. But for the dimple locks you will need different kind of tools, something like these flags. This is also from Multipick, and also you will need different kind of turning tool, and it's again another investment that you'll have to make if you want to venture in this kind of locks. Sorry, my dogs are just came to say hello. Shoo. I would strongly suggest that you start with pin tumblers. And the best way to see which locks can be opened by you as a new picker, rather than trying and failing and wondering what can happen, I would suggest that you use a tool called Belt Explorer or Lock Explorer. You can find it on, I will put the link down below, if this can open. And you can see that this beat up lock, which got a lot of paint on it, and I needed to sand it a bit so I can turn the core. I disassembled it and it was quite gunky inside. The springs were all mushy, but now it's quite nice and quite usable. I was thinking that it's, I don't know, a cheap lock, cheaply made, and it will be easy pick, but it actually has 3 security pins inside, and this is why this Lock Explorer is handy, because you can search for the lock name, lock type, and you can see in which category one is. Not all locks are inside, but it's a growing collection, and if you have any locks that are not inside, you can send the pictures of them gutted, and they will be put inside with your credentials, like this one. If you are not familiar what I'm talking about, the belt ranking system is a way in which the locks are categorized from the easiest to the hardest, or let's say the ones that are the easiest to pick, and to the ones that have security pins inside and some other security features as well, which a newbie picker cannot pick. As I said, not all locks will be found inside. I was quite happy that I picked this CISA low line. CISA is quite famous or renowned manufacturer, and they produce quite quality locks, and I thought it was a highly ranked lock, but unfortunately when I gutted it, it contained no security pins, so it made it, or better say, it made this lock beginner lock. So yeah, my joy just went down. But I was happy that some of these locks are highly ranked. So always identify your locks, not just how hard they are, because some locks, especially the cheap ones, sorry, just drop this, can have hollow cores like this cheaply made Chinese one, and if you try to gut it without shims, these are shims that you put between the core body and the lock body, you will have quite fun time to disassemble it. This brings me to my next tool that eventually you will want to invest in, is some kind of or some form of disassembly tool. This one is from Huck. It's basic lock disassembly tool, nothing special. It does the job, it's cheap. And this Euro front loader, I believe it's called, from Sparrows, if I'm right. These are made from plastic and quite fiddly to use. As you can see, they do not go inside, probably not. I'm not sure in which locks I should use them. So I modified one so it can go inside, but it's quite fiddly to use and not so fond of it. That's why sometimes I pick one side, I got it, and I just leave it as is, so I can use the follower if I wanted to pick the other side. Or eventually you can cut it in half and get 2 logs from one. Also, you will need some kind of pinning tray. This one is from Sparrows, some kind of pliers, tweezers that have some kind of notches so you can pick the pins quite easier, and as I mentioned, some kind of shims, and of course a follower. You can make followers from anything, even batteries. It's nothing that I have invented. It's been on internet for quite a while now. The next type of lock you want to venture in is disc detainer lock, and this one as well requires a specific tool and a specific skill set to open. And similar to this, you have tubular locks and many others like wafer locks, but as I said, I prefer to start with this pin tumblers one. I would like to progress, or I plan to progress with these dimple ones, and then I hope I can pick some disc detainers as well. One thing about this cutaway locks, eventually you will populate it with all 6 chambers and all security pins, and when you are picking it, you will see that you are always looking in it, and it's some kind of cheating. So this is designed by Locknube, which can be found on Thingiverse, and you can print it yourself. And when you put it inside, it not only makes picking in hand quite comfortable, but also impossible to see what's going on inside. So it's quite bonus, and you can use it on any other Euro lock as well. Not sure if you can use it on those. Yeah, probably not. Also, I failed to mention that while you are picking with this kind of cutaway, it's good to film yourself from this angle so that you can see what were you doing and which pins were troublesome for you, which ones you overset, which ones you didn't set, and especially when you come to the spools and serrated pins. So film yourself, watch your videos, and you will progress quite quickly. One more thing I like to do before I start picking is that I take my Sparrows progressive locks, which are all pinned differently. I use the multi-pick pins inside, because the ones that came with it are, in my opinion, garbage, and when I changed the pins, the feeling was quite different, and now they are pickable. I also changed the cores with their core trainer, I believe it's called, and first 3 are pinned to 5 pins, and this one is pinned to the 6 pin. As I said, I'm still a beginner picker, and this is quite nice for me to get some kind of warm up, and because these are different core types, each feels differently, and each has security pins inside as well. So and you can pin them individually however you want. So in my opinion, it's quite good investment, and I use it anytime I pick. Those ones I like to use when I'm trying to pick locks like this one, and I cannot pick it for the life of me, and then I would, if I have a key, I would disassemble it, see the pinning, I would replicate the pinning and the security pins inside if it has one, and I try to pick it inside of here. It just helps me to visualize what's happening. Also, sometimes, like when I was picking this lock, I pinned it gradually. So I gutted it and I put only 2 pins, then 3 pins, then etc. So this is a good way how to learn for and practice on each lock, at least when you are a new picker. But I've seen many other experienced pickers do this as well. One thing I have to mention is that eventually you will end up with at least some kind of graveyard like this. Don't worry, it's quite normal. Everybody has their own pile of damaged locks, lock parts, springs and pins and everything. Lady has one nice video in which she shows that you can reassemble a lock from a couple of different locks, and you can even use these parts. As you can see, these are from 2 different locks, but you can insert them and you can practice making challenge locks, which will eventually be required if you are in the Belka ranking system. So never throw your damaged locks away, and don't worry, it's quite normal, and it's just a learning experience. Also, I would advise when you are looking at these cheap locks like TSA locks or something, this can be easily probably not TSA, but this one can be easily bypassed or pinned. I mean, it's 2 pin only or something. It's just waste of your money. Yeah, I got one as a gift, but I would never buy this. Choose what kind of locks you are buying. These are investments. You can sell them later on and retrieve your money or buy something else. So it is an investment as well as these kind of tools. And your skill set as well is an investment. Hope it helps, and see you in the next one.